You listen up. The term nigger is an ignorant person often used to describe a black person or person of darker complexion. First used in 1574. First appeared in Webster's Dictionary in 1864. Defined as a synonym of Negro. You ever played the game called Life? It was created in 1860. The war on drugs began in June 1971 under President Richard Nixon as he declared drug abuse to be public enemy number one. In the game called Life, each player is supposed to start out with $10,000, and the winner of the game is the player who collected the most money. The game called Life was remade in the 1960s, and the rise of recreational drug use in the 1960s likely led to President Nixon focus on targeting substance abuse. I know that the drug dealer card is highlighted. It's tax-free, no FICA, whoever else. You can get the women, the houses, and the cars, the lifestyle you never had, the lifestyle you've seen on TV. But let me change your perspective, because every drug dealer is an entrepreneur, a person who organizes and orchestrates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. You hire workers, you pay them a rate, you track inventory, you re-up, you make business deals, you buy product, you cut your losses, you fire people who steal from you. You want your clientele to keep coming back. So do the drug dealers behind the desk. But that's another topic for another day. Bill Clinton passed a crime bill in 1994. He admitted it was a mistake later on. The CCA profited $1.7 billion off of punishment. Look how much it costs to call home from jail or prison. Even JCPenney and Victoria's Secrets had items made in prison. See, one year I was making the baseball field, and I went over there and I got a job, and then about a week later, there were some prisoners that came to work with us, and all we had to do was just kind of help them out. So the prisoner asked me, yo, how much you making? I was like, I'm making like $12 an hour, bruh. And I was like, how much you making? He was like, I'm making 51 cents. So I thought about it. He said, oh yeah, that's the highest. He said, we start out 17 cents. So why would I go to jail and only make 51 cents? Now ask yourself this. You remember Khalif Browder? He was sent to Rikers Island at the age of 16. He never stood trial or never found guilty. He spent 3 years, nearly 2 years of it in solitary confinement. He got out, learned, and got the equivalent of a high school diploma, and he even started college. And then it was just too much for him, and he committed suicide. Many of y'all came through the systems, and y'all saw what was unfair, so let me help you. Most of y'all are supposed to be lawyers, judges, etc. Why would you be a nigga when you can be a king? How many of y'all watched TV growing up? Remember the Jeffersons, Rock, the Steve Harvey Show, Sanford and Son, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, the Cosby Show? See, we all got to see what the black fathers look like. But the #1 rated television black show of all time or sitcom is Good Times. See, Esther Roll cast that role, so when she won it, they told her, this is what we want it to be about. We want it to be about a single black mom with 3 kids, and we want to call it Good Times. Y'all want to call it Good Times. See, watch this. See, she was she was one of 17 children, and her father at that time was always in the home, and she said it would be disrespect if I had did this role without having a black father. And she put her career on the line. She said, I'm not doing this unless you give me a black father. So what happened? Oh yeah, they got John Amos. Y'all remember him. So he was the father, right? But then it was funny because after a while they got rid of him, right? And John Amos said this. They said his services were no longer needed. So you got to remember, see, the show started off with no black writers. And he believed that the lead scripts that did not accurately reflect black people and said and did in real life. See, what he was trying to do was let them know, hey, listen, some of these roles or things that y'all said, this don't happen in real life. This don't happen in real life. You got to remember, see, they was never trying to have a black father in the first place, so they wanted to get rid of him. See, them writers tried to tell him, oh, look at all these degrees I got. Look at all of this. And he was like, how long have you been black? Who drops the mic on that one? Now look at the TV shows of the day. Most of the black fathers are out the way. Now look at how they treat our black women. Now look at how we treat our black women. The most disrespected person on earth is a black woman. It doesn't matter your preference in color, but if you find love in another color, then it doesn't give you the right to talk about that black woman. Because no matter who you have a child by, your daughter, if you have one, will be seen as a black woman. And to all those who slept with multiple women, you get no brownie points. I know it looks good in the streets, and even people praise you. But let me give you some simple advice. If you ever get into a relationship, then be faithful. Otherwise, be single. Because internally, you're damaging yourself. Because the one day that you want to settle down, you will have already developed the appetite that women cannot be faithful. My cousin one day told me, he said, yo, cuz, man, my girl tripping. And I was like, cuz, don't you got a daughter? He was like, yeah. And I said, would you let your daughter marry you and somebody else? He said, oh, no. And I said, until you become him, stay single. See, they may have supplied the communities with drugs and guns, but we always have a choice who we become. See, we ain't got to sell drugs. I know, again, the game called life. I know the card is highlighted. It's time to put these guns down so that our children can live. We always say Black Lives Matter, but will they ever really matter to us? See, it says in Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And see, this is what we got to do. We got to get better. And like I said, do you really want to be a nigga, or do you really want to be a king? Because see, that's what it's about. Is it about you, or is it about your purpose? Because if it was about you, when Harriet Tubman got free, she would have stayed free. But if it was about your purpose, she would have went back and freed over 300 slaves. See, that's what it's about. It's about your purpose. I know many of y'all might just be watching this and saying, you know what? How can I do something? You know what? You can make a difference. You never know who's looking at you. I ain't have my father like I wanted to, but you know what I said? My children will never experience the pain that I felt. And I meant that. And being a single father of 5, see, I got to do what I got to do. Because, see, what I learned is pain always bursts purpose. See, growing up, I didn't have my father like I wanted to because my father lived in Chicago. So he lived 6.5 hours away. So it was hard to see him because I didn't, you know what I'm saying, because he didn't have a vehicle. So my brother's dad lived in the same city. And, you know, I had him about 5 years. So I used to always be like, yo, can I go? No. Can I go? No. Can I go? No. Can I go? Yes. I know some of y'all like, oh, he should have let y'all go. He should let you go. Nah. See, because if he would have took me, I would have compared my father to him, and that would have been the standard. But it was a blessing in disguise, because let me tell you something. Pain always bursts purpose. So I said I'll never make my children feel like how I felt. So I remember when they had a little brother, you know what I'm saying, after our kids, watch this. Then I remember how I felt, and I said he's not going to experience what I experienced. And I remember the time when I was trying to text and talk to the mother of my children because she had the kids, you know, because I didn't know my rights as a dad. And I remember texting, and then she was like, I don't want him to get upset, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, he thought I was trying to get back with the mother of my children. I was just trying to talk to my kids, and I'm just like, bruh, nah, man. You know what? So I remember having his son last year, and he called me. He's like, yo, can I talk to my son? I was like, yeah, can I talk to my son? Yeah, can I talk to my son? Yeah. He was like, yo, bro. I was like, what's up? He said, man, thank you. I'm like, for what? He said, you let me talk to my kids with no problem. And I said, why would I put you through what I've been through? I said, let me tell you something, man. We family. I said, if your son suffer, it's going to hit my kids, and they going to suffer, and then it's going to hit me. I said, we got to stop the cycle. I'm not saying me and you got to sit here and have tea and crumpets every Sunday, but understand this. If your son needs something, he going to have it. Understand this. He calls me dad because all he said my kids do was call me father. So let me put it like this, because we going to make a new normal. I know society tells you that we ain't supposed to get along, but we gonna get along, man. That's how it is, because we family. And I said, I'll never take your place. You'll always be his, you know, so you always be his father. Number one, you'll always be there, man. And he said, I can respect you for that. And he said, yo, bro, can I call you? He said, can I call you big bro? I said, yeah, man, we family, it's cool. See, that's how it is, man. See, and even though the mother of my children got married, I was almost gonna DJ her wedding. I just didn't have the time and constraints with everything, wasn't allowing me to do that. But you know what? Either you could be a nigga or a king. And see, as always, I choose to be a king, and you should too. So just like Caliber made that song, man, you got a choice. So y'all heard that, man. Why would you be a nigga when you could be a king, man? Come on, man. Choose ye this day who you gonna serve. All right, as always, I'm out. Love y'all. God bless. And big ups to all my kings and all those striving to be kings, because I'm praying for you.